Hello, I'm back again. And this time I wanted to touch on a subject. A few days past when the biggest news hit, and that was when Zaza Ali, or Zaza, I guess Zaza Ali, came on and did a couple videos regarding, answering the accusations, excuse me, and things like that, that people were speaking of about her not returning everyone's money for the retreat that was held and was never, excuse me, the retreat that was scheduled to be held and was never held. And all of the fallout with not refunding everyone's money and around that. Now, she did a few videos. I heard some of them were taken down since she did them. I guess she was being um, spam. Well, I don't know spammed, but I guess people were going hard on her on those videos, so she took them down. My point is, I was gonna do a video just kind of um, playing back what she said and then commenting on it. And there were some videos up that I still could have done that with. However, one thing that stuck out to me is that there was one woman that had actually left the church because she was going through just a spiritual crisis, maybe spiritual questioning, and she realized that she wasn't finding what she needed in the church, and so she found her way to Zaza Ali, and then she again, after this happened, I'm sure she's questioning again about spirituality, about spiritual leaders, and what they mean, and do they have integrity, and and everything, and how is this the real behavior of somebody that calls themselves spiritual leader. So I wanted to do this video on that, on spiritual leadership, on things to look for when you are doing your spiritual journey. Again, I am going to approach this from an energetic viewpoint because the energy never changes. The energy is what it is. It either is or it either isn't. And from that viewpoint, things are simplified and things can be seen through all of the manipulations, through all of the illusions. Things can be truly seen for what they really are and seen through the filters that people may have. For instance, okay, an example of that, gravity is gravity, okay? It doesn't matter what your illusions are about gravity. It's gravity. It is gonna be. It is gonna respond the same way, whether you believe in it or not. You anybody of any belief system, faith system, whatever, wherever they are, whatever knowledge they have of science or don't have, the exact same thing is going to happen if they jump out of a 16-story building. It doesn't matter. The exact same thing is going to happen. And so I'm going to approach this from those principles of the foundations of energy and what they're about. Now, the first thing that I'm going to briefly cover again, and I've shared this in some previous videos, but I want to bring it up here again so we can have a foundation from which to move forward. And that is how energy works. There's basically two states in which we can manifest our experiences, in which we can influence the outcome of our experiences. If you're not the person that believes in manifesting, then just go with influencing the outcome of your experiences. Okay? And that is, you're either in anger, fear, okay, they're the same thing basically, or being unconditionally accountable and responsible. Those are the two states. It's like the light switch is off, in which the room is dark, or the light switch is on, in which the room is light. And that's it. And, each state has its own purpose. You want the room dark if you're watching a movie. Say if you're watching, projection, one of those projector movies. You need the room dark or you can't see the movie. All right. If you want to watch a light show, you need the room dark. And if you want to do, other things, like read, cook, go, day-to-day living activities that require your sight, you need the light on. So each has purpose. Oh, also, if you want to go to sleep, you need the room dark. So each has purpose, okay? And I'm not saying one is greater or better than the other, but they produce different results. It's like wanting to have a hamburger, or excuse me, make meatloaf, and wanting to make angel food cake. They're different ingredients. The ingredients put together will produce different results. So that's that. Now, when you are in anger, fear, when you're in that energy of anger, fear, and that takes form of many, many different um, characteristics, or not characteristics, states. Okay, if you're feeling judgment, blame, guilt, shame, jealousy, anger, ego, better than, if you're feeling, um, uh, what is it, like you have to justify things, like you have to defend something. All right, you're in that state of anger, fear. And the things that anger, fear create, okay, are loss, lack, illness, and struggle. All right, that's just what happens. Now, I'm gonna add a little bit of a caveat to that. If you remain in the state of anger, fear, and you use it to move through life, to create from, instead of using it as a platform to jump from, to jump in, from, to strengthen your intention, and then you move forward through being unconditionally accountable and responsible, that is a healthy use of anger, fear. Most of us stay in that state of anger, fear, and we move forward in our life through anger, fear, and that's the misuse of anger, fear. So again, just like you can misuse anything. Okay, you can misuse the light switch being off in which you're trying to read in a dark room. Okay, that's misusing the dark. All right, you can leave the light switch on and you're trying to watch, a movie projection on the wall. All right, you can't see anything. That's the misuse of the light. So that's what I'm going to move forward in terms of the misuse of anger, fear, is when you remain in that state and manifest, and intend, okay, through that state. So when you are looking at somebody who says that they're a spiritual leader and claims to be a spiritual leader, some of the characteristics that you want to look for, okay, are characteristics that are some of those things that I mentioned. Is there judgment there? Are they judging themselves? Are they judging you? Okay. Are they trying to shame you into something? All right. Are they blaming you for something or blaming themselves for something? Okay. Is there any form of control and manipulation that is being used? Is there, are they making themselves greater, okay, than others? Now, it's like saying a senior, okay, is a greater being, all right, than a second grader. They both have equal value. Okay, one just may know more than the other. So it's like that with the spiritual advisor. They may know more, yet they are there with the understanding that anyone that they may be sharing, um, knowledge with can surpass them at any point. That person that they may be sharing their knowledge with may understand it at a level because of who they are, how they came into the world, what their their past experiences were that may allow them to really grab a hold of the material, how they learn, what their natural state of being is, okay, may allow them to absorb that material faster and surpass the one that is teaching them. And a true spiritual leader will understand that. And they won't say, I am always superior to you because I know this and you don't know that. All right? They're just doing what they're doing, sharing their knowledge because that is their calling. That is what they love doing. That is something they would do if they didn't get paid for it. All right? Now, I don't want you to confuse, a spiritual leader getting some kind of exchange. That is imbalance. All right? Because there's a belief that spiritual leaders shouldn't be receiving anything because it's all, this and that. But there, again, everything must be in balance. You can't expect the spiritual leader to, just give, because that puts them out of balance. All right. And then they will not be able to continue doing what they're doing to the level that they could do it, and to the level that could be a benefit to the world. So just because they may ask for donations or whatever, or they are receiving in whatever form, it does not make them suspect as a spiritual leader. If you, as an individual that are learning from them, if you are seeing your life improve, okay, then that's why it would be a balanced and fair exchange. So it's not necessarily the exchange of resources, but it's like, what are you receiving? Is your life improving because you are receiving that information responsibly, accountably, and unconditionally? That's key. So, is the spiritual person that you are following or learning from, okay, are they in the state of being unconditional, accountable, and responsible? So let me talk about that a little bit. So being unconditionally accountable and responsible, that means that they own what their mistakes are. They do not try to deflect, or they do not attempt, or they do not take the action of deflecting things that are that may go wrong onto other people. If because they understand, as a spiritual person, if you are involved in something goes amiss, something doesn't turn out the way you think it does, all right, a true spiritual leader looks at themselves and they understand that they had a role in what occurred, and they step back and look at what is this showing me, because this is showing me something that I am not seeing in myself, that in me seeing it, it will only allow me to be that much more, that much stronger of a spiritual leader. That's what a true spiritual leader will do. Now, they won't take all of the responsibility if it doesn't all lie on their shoes or on their shoulders either, because that's just as bad as taking none. All right. And they will allow where that responsibility lies to lie. Okay. So they always, if something goes awry, they always look at themselves first and say, okay, what is it that I was not aware of that this result was created? And they look at these opportunities for them to improve, for them to be better. Okay, not for them to come up with ways of hiding more, all right, or covering things up better. Okay, they don't look at it that way. They don't say things like, this will never happen again because I'll make sure that nobody finds out, or I'll make sure I'm better at controlling and manipulating. They may not say those words, but there's that energy behind it. What they'll say is, this won't happen again because I see what it was all right, that I was not aware of within myself. Okay. And it was very enlightening for me. And I'm very, uh, I'm glad that this was a good thing because now I can step forward and being even more of a um, powerful leader, even more of a leader that can support those that I am teaching. All right. And I will be accountable and responsible. So anyone that was harmed or damaged in any way from from this happening and from what my responsibility was in this, I will be accountable for that. I'm not going to make them wrong. I'm not going to make them bad. I'm not going to blame them or shame them. This was my doing, and I own it, and I will be accountable for it. And that's what true leaders do, especially spiritual leaders. So there are, for those of the people that have had an experience where something like this happened, look at how they handle it, because it doesn't mean that everything's always going to be rosy and what we think rosy is, because great gifts, tremendous gifts, come in packages that aren't always wrapped in pretty bows and, beautiful wrapping paper. Okay? However, if you judge what happened, if you blame, if you aren't accountable and responsible for what happened, you won't receive the gift that is contained in that experience. So because of how she responded to it, this could have been an amazing gift for her to be really, even, take it to the next level, all right, for herself in terms of what she, gained and could give out to those people that she's teaching. But she missed that opportunity because she made it about other people. She made it about what others were doing wrong. Okay, she made it about others being wrong. And that, again, is part of the energy of anger, fear. And what does anger, fear create? Loss, lack, illness, struggle, etc. Okay, so if she had approached it being unconditionally accountable and responsible, all right, meaning whatever, harm that was caused for people, with people, I will make sure that I make them whole again. I'm responsible for that. And in that, and then not judging that, people may want their money back, or judging how people may have responded. Okay, a lot of people are probably responded through fear because, oh my God, I just spent this money and it's gone. Okay, most people are going to have a reaction like that. So without judging them for having that reaction, okay, and standing in the trust or standing in that unconditional responsibility, that commitment to making it right, the universe would have come in and supported her in being able to be accountable and responsible for what happened. But she missed the opportunity of seeing just how powerful the universe could be. That was a tremendous opportunity for her to see how powerful the universe could be in really supporting, okay, her and what she wanted to create in her life. So I wanted to share that with you because when you approach things from an energetic level, okay, you can see things, and you don't have to go through life being so afraid, okay, so in fear of the unknown. And if you're wanting to know more about this or learn more about this, shoot me an email, send me a message through my YouTube account, and I can, share with you some of the tools that I use to just really get clarity and be able to see the big picture and see things and see how things are put together, and then be able to incorporate that into my own life, because I've had some really interesting experiences with the power of intention and how quickly that works. So it's just something I wanted to share. I hope this was helpful. If you like it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video. And I'd love to hear what you think as well. So I'm going to leave it at that. So bye for now.